Peace be with you. Dear friends, welcome to Living Flame Daily Gospel Reflections for Tuesday in the fourth week in the ordinary time. Gospel according to Mark chapter 5 verses 21 to 43. Now Jesus is faced with two situations at once here in this gospel. Both of them had a great need. Both of them had a critical need. The disciples and Jesus had now crossed over again by boat to the other side. One of the leaders of the synagogue, by name Jairus, came to Jesus and fell at his feet and begged Jesus, saying, "My little girl was at death's door. Come and lay your hands on her so that she can live." What we notice immediately, two things: the heartfelt concern of a father for his daughter. We know that when our children are hurting, we hurt. It is difficult to watch them to go through the pain. We take all kinds of measures to see them healed. Jairus knew that if Jesus placed his hands on her, that she would be healed. He knew that all it would take was his touch. His touch would be more than enough. So Jesus set out with Jairus to go to his daughter. But as he does, an interesting thing happens. How many times have you been on your way to do something to help someone, perhaps, or to perform some type of ministry, when someone else comes to you with another need? This has happened very often in my own life. For example, if I were to go out to visit a sick person, immediately someone would come with another problem, perhaps interrupting my work. In that tension, I would always say, "Well, please wait for me, and I would serve you later, because there is a sick person who is in need of my help." Now, when the man in the story of the Good Samaritan, we find in Luke, was hurt, Luke tells us that he was half dead, lying on the side of the road. Two men came along, one priest and the other Levite. Both had huge ties to the synagogue. One a priest and the other helped prepare for the worship. We don't know where they were going, but it does come to our mind that perhaps they were on their way to synagogue or to the place of worship, and they did nothing to the man who was hurt. So Jesus was on his way to Jairus' house. But this situation is interrupted by the woman who suffered 12 years. She had gone to the doctors. She had done everything to get healed. So this woman had heard about Jesus, and her first thought was, "I have got to get to him as soon as possible." She, like Jairus, knew that if she could just experience the touch of Jesus, everything would be fine. If we can experience the touch of Jesus, everything will be fine. So in what was apparently a large crowd, the woman decides to reach in and touch the robe of Jesus. Well, what do we understand here? Jesus is ready to heal her too. She touches Jesus, and we know that power came out of Jesus. Jesus was so vibrant, filled with the Spirit, that immediately he himself could understand that power had gone out. And the woman was healed, and Jesus continues his journey. Now he comes to the house of Jairus. Of course, he had already been informed that the daughter of Jairus was dead. And they also told, "Why should you trouble the teacher?" But overhearing what they said, Jesus said to the leader of the synagogue, Do not fear, only believe. He allowed no one to follow him except Peter, James, and John, who were also present at the Transfiguration, also in the Garden of Gethsemane. When they came to the house of the leader of the synagogue, Jesus saw a commotion, people weeping and wailing loudly. When he had entered, he said to them, "Why do you make a commotion and weep? The child is not dead, but sleeping." Can you just imagine they laughed at him. Then he put them all out and took the child's father and mother and those who were with him and went in where the child was. He took her by the hand and said, "Talitha kum," which means, "Little girl, get up." And immediately the girl got up and began to walk. At this they were all overcome with amazement. Jesus strictly ordered them that no one should know this and told them to give her something to eat. Jesus' human approach towards the woman who was suffering due to a hemorrhage, 12 years, Jesus heals her. He says, "Daughter, you are healed because of your faith." And here, another little girl is raised from the dead. The power of Jesus is obvious and clear. Dear friends, we need that faith in order to experience a miracle in our lives. Whether it is healing of a sickness or healing of a deep pain or the pain of a loss of a near and dear one from our life. If we have faith, we will be certainly healed within ourselves with the power of Jesus, the Savior of the world. God bless you.